All right, y'all, welcome to my scouting report on Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pitt. Check out my film breakdown on Pickett after this if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get into this. The pros, cons, player comparisons. So here's the stats from the last season. Asterisk meaning he's number one among the top 5 QBs. Himself, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, and Sam Howell. Look at those passing stats. First in almost every category. Completions, attempts, yards, and touchdowns. He pretty clearly has the best passing stats out of the top 5 guys and the worst rushing stats. He's not a bad rusher by any means. That's just not the focal point to his game. Here's some of the pros and cons. Pros, number one by far, consistent accuracy across the board at different levels, whether it's short, intermediate, deep. He's just consistently accurate. He had a really good O-line at Pitt, meaning he had a lot of clean pockets, but he was pretty consistent when he was under pressure, when he's on the run. Really just has good accuracy all across the board. He's great in the red zone, mostly because of that accuracy. Once you get down into that area, obviously, windows become tighter. Pitt was able to get touchdowns instead of field goals in that area time and time again this season. Pocket movement and just really feel of the pocket in general. Really good footwork. Also his escapability. Slide in the pocket, escape when he needs to, and he's great at throwing on the run. He's also got a pretty quick release and a lot of confidence back there, which definitely something you need in a starting quarterback. Some of the cons, he's going to be a 24-year-old rookie, so pretty old compared to most guys. He was a 5-year player at Pitt. Another con, his lack of arm strength. Doesn't have a weak arm, but just relative to the other top guys in this class, probably got the worst arm strength out of all of them in my opinion. Still super accurate if it's within his range on deep throws. While he is pretty good in the pocket, he does tend to get happy feet sometimes when he's got clean pockets and when he's got time to work. He can escape too early sometimes, kind of rely on his escapability and his throw on the run ability a little too much. Also, I mentioned the confidence, too confident at times. Sometimes he thinks he can make plays that he can't because he can make so many amazing plays. Ends up throwing a risky throw or taking an unnecessary sack. He can also be late on some throws. He's not terrible going through his reads, but sometimes he can stare down his number one receiver too long and you wish he was a little bit quicker on some throws. I mentioned the great O-line at Pitt, so it is a little bit difficult to evaluate him in that sense, just because he's in clean pockets almost all the time. But like I said, even under pressure, he is consistently good. So a couple player comparisons I have for him, one being Tony Romo, as far as his movement in the pocket and just great feel of what's going on around him, his ability to escape, make plays on the run. Just like Tony Romo, he's so great at that while not being an amazing athlete. He tends to make the right play and just, like I said, has a great feel of what's going on around him. Similar to Derek Carr. I don't think he's at the same cerebral level as Derek Carr. I don't think he's as quick going through his reads and recognizing defenses, but he does have a little bit of that Derek Carr style to him. My last comparison is a more accurate, slower version of Daniel Jones. Just as far as play style, he is similar to Daniel Jones, I think. More accurate with the ball, but also doesn't have the same top speed as Daniel Jones. My career projection for Kenny Pickett, I think he's a really good player. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a great starting quarterback in the league. He could surprise me, but I just see him as like a fringe Pro Bowl quarterback, a mid-level starter. You see there between 12 and 20 out of the 32 starting quarterbacks, so not bad, not great. Maybe like a Ryan Tannehill level player where if you have a bad quarterback, you wish you had Tannehill. But if you have Tannehill, you're always kind of looking to upgrade, and there is kind of a cap on where you can go as a team, I think. I'm not saying Kenny Pickett could never win a Super Bowl or anything. I just think he's not a guy that's going to will you to a Super Bowl like a Patrick Mahomes or guys like that. I think he's more, if he has the right team and the right scheme around him, he can get you there, but I don't think he's a top tier level quarterback. Now quickly, I'm going to run through my favorite and my least favorite play from Kenny Pickett this year. This is my favorite play right here against Miami. Down 14 in the red zone, 3rd and 6. He's going to drop back to pass, going to have a free rusher. He's going to spin out left, get his shoulders around, and make a really nice throw to the back of the end zone. Nice escape, as I talked about, his escapability, and then that accuracy, rolling left. Spin left, reset, shoulders around, just dime to the back of the end zone. All right, my least favorite play from Kenny Pickett is going to be here against North Carolina. 1 minute left in the game. It's tied at 23. 1st and 10. He's going to be laid on a dig throw here. and nearly throw the game away. Safety's going to drop an interception here. He's just going to stare down this dig for too long and be late on it. And the safety's going to make a nice play, just can't capitalize off of it. Just stares it down right here. He releases the ball right here. Safety's already in great position. He's going to make a break on the ball here. Just stares it down and nearly gives the game away on this play on first down. But that's going to do it on the scouting report for Kenny Pickett. I'm going to close this out with the world premiere of the new KnobHead single entitled Tiny Hands. It's a story about Kenny Pickett and his little paws taking a trip to Burger King and the trials and tribulations he has to overcome. But yeah, check out my film breakdown on Kenny Pickett if you haven't already and you want a more in-depth look at what he does well and what he does not do well. Keep an eye out for my videos on the other prospects coming soon. And yeah, without further ado, here's the world premiere of Tiny Hands by KnobHead.
I'm gonna get one at McDonald's. Why? There's a BK right there. I have these tiny hands.
They're not that tiny.
They are that tiny.
I got these tiny hands, like the Burger King man. I know you heard the rumor, but I don't eat the Whopper Jr. I like the big boy meal, large fries on the side. But sometimes mom doesn't let me get the large, and it kills my vibe. But I still buy the big burger, yeah, that's a fact. I can even eat the whole thing if I cut it in half. I'd like to get the large soda, cause I love Mountain Dew. But the circumference of the cup is too large, it would slip right through. Slip through my tiny hands. Ooh. Slip through my tiny hands. Ooh.
Are you kidding?
I have these tiny hands.